1987, Paul Verhoeven's RoboCop shocked audiences with its excessive gore, corporate satire, and cynical humor. With a modest budget of $13 million that ultimately would turn over $53 million during its domestic box office run. And by 1989, Orion Pictures wanted more RoboCop. And they wanted it fast. So today we're going to peel back the layers of the cyborg onion and see the production history of RoboCop 2.
I don't believe this! What? It's the cops, man! Cops are on strike, stupid! Can't you hear that?
Officer. Take it over, Creed.
RoboCop 2's genesis can be dated to the summer of 1987, just after the original RoboCop was released. The studio, flushed with its unexpected success with the first movie, ordered a sequel right away. And the original screenwriters Edward Numere and Michael Miner hit the ground running in September of 1987. Their wild outline for RoboCop 2, what was then called the Corporate Wars, was a mind-bender set 25 years later. In their script, Murphy awakens among the ruins of Omni Consumer Products, encased in a new system called Neurobrain. It was a high-concept cyberpunk thriller that perhaps was a little too ambitious. But then disaster struck as in March of 1988 a Writers Guild strike began, forcing them off the project for a contract breach. Orion was also unhappy with the first film's draft's grim tone and wanted a change-up. Enter Frank Miller, fresh off reviving Batman in the iconic Dark Knight Returns comic book. Miller took on RoboCop 2 and soon churned out a 4-draft screenplay by 1989. His version was meaner and even more anti-corporate than the first film, with OCP literally merging with the government, and the final battle was RoboCop versus a corporate army. Producer John Davidson praised Miller's grittiness, inventive action, humor, and politics, but Orion called the script unfilmable. Through all of the writer's room turmoil, Davidson was also juggling at different directors to potentially helm the project, as Paul Verhoeven was occupied with Total Recall. Eventually, Davidson tapped his friend Tim Hunter, director of 1986's River's Edge, for his realistic tone, but soon found himself clashing with Miller's script. He wanted a dark revenge film much closer to the first RoboCop, while Miller wanted to insert more dark humor and bizarre elements. The arguments apparently grew so heated that Hunter quit just 11 weeks before cameras were initially to start rolling, calling the script totally unfocused. And then in stepped Irvin Kershner, veteran director of Empire Strikes Back and Never Say Never Again, who agreed with Miller's mix of satire and action. Producer John Davidson demanded that Kershner promise not to rejig the script once shooting began, but Kershner soon found it impossible to shoot the film without tweaking. Frank Miller later remarked that there must have been a half-dozen drafts of RoboCop 2 with many different hands at play. As RoboCop 2's machinery churned, certain original cast members returned. Peter Weller re-signed as Alex Murphy/RoboCop, Nancy Allen came back as Officer Ann Lewis, and even Dan O'Herlihy returned as the Old Man. Principal photography for the movie took place in and around Houston, Texas. The decision was pragmatic, as Houston's downtown was quiet at night and offered a varied cityscape. Director Kershner opted to shoot in the winter in an attempt to avoid sweltering heat and rain. The film was shot largely at night to keep Houston blanketed in artificial darkness. With its bigger budget, RoboCop 2 upped the scale, with Phil Tippett, stop-motion guru of Empire Strikes Back, returning to supervise all of the visual effects.
There are 9 shooting crews creating shots for the picture to create the illusion of this giant monster on the warpath. Stop motion is very time consuming, and it's shot 1 frame at a time, and there are 24 frames in a second of film. So an average shooting crew might be able to do 1 to 1.5 shots a week, and those shots are 2 to 3 seconds in duration. One mistake and you're back to square one.
We have 8 stop motion puppets. Each one must have 150 moving parts on it, and each of those are very finely machined by one of the animators, in addition to 1 full-size cane monster prop that was built from the waist up. That would allow us to get shots with Peter Weller in the RoboCop outfit in contact with this robot.
Boy, that was terrific.
Thing of beauty.
Great.
Overall, the effects team got more time and resources than the first movie, and it shows.
The second picture has a new suit. It's been redesigned. It's more of a shiny new car than the first picture's suit. The colors are different. The surfaces are different. They're more reflective. They're harder. The foam rubber surfaces of the first picture have been eliminated, and it's all now fiberglass, like a brand new car.
The Robo team are the mechanics and the doctors of the suit. The suit's always getting damaged, it's always getting beat up, it's always going through some kind of catharsis. Part of the Robo team is always at the shop. Part of the Robo team is the on-set mechanics, the people that dress me. It's not unlike a really high-performance race car team where there are a lot of people pitching in and contributing to making one person look good.
Even the music tried to feel a bit more 90s, with British composer Leonard Rosenman replaced Basil Polidorus with a new bombastic score, leaving the classic RoboCop theme sorely missing from this particular entry. The movie then hit theaters on June 22nd, 1990, and compared to the first movie, which opened with $8 million and eventually totaled $53 million on a $13 million budget, the sequel slightly underperformed even the original's smaller launch, and despite the budget nearly double of the first, it earned Orion a comfortable profit, still being the 6th highest grossing independent film of the year, but not the game-changing windfall that they had quite hoped for. The Columbia entitled RoboCop Free did get made in 1993, but by then Peter Weller had been replaced and the franchise was clearly starting to wane. And since then there have been a few TV adaptations, one reboot attempt, and another rebooted attempt for Amazon Television coming soon. In conclusion, RoboCop 2 may not be quite on the same level as the original film, but it's an object lesson in 80s to 90s blockbuster sequel movie making. It never quite attained the mythic status of the first movie, but it didn't exactly disappear either. In the end, RoboCop 2 stands as a snapshot of its era. It's a summer action sequel drenched in neon that reflects both the ambitions and pitfalls of Hollywood at the time. It's an overall underrated sequel that is definitely worth a second look.
Hey! Let's step outside.
You're obsolete!
Take it over, creep.